So here's the story behind why I was laughing when I got sacked from the bank. Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. I've seen so many people that watched that short that I posted the other day, and I did say I would post the full video about why I was laughing and stuff, and what it kind of means for me and what I want to do in life, and mainly why I won't work for another company or person again. I'm just kind of at my wit's end with it. It started about 4 years ago. So I applied to a bank 4 years ago, and had 4 interview stages. And every single stage of the interview, I was told, look, the only thing that's important about this job is helping the customers. And that for me, I really enjoyed that. I'd worked in sales before, and going into this role, I thought it was really good that their focus is on the customer, because so many places you work, doesn't matter what I do, it's the people behind me, they were just caring about figures and numbers, and that's fine if that's the way you want to operate a business, but for me, I did care more about helping customers. So that's why I applied to it and why I went there and why I essentially got the job. And for the first 6 months, that was the way it worked. And then small things started to change. There was a part where I got a phone call off my manager, and told me that he was leaving. Didn't tell me why, didn't tell me anything else. Just left, and then no more contact with him after that, considering he was the one that employed me. And then I noticed over the next few months that some of the management started to change. So it was kind of, I thought something of it, but we didn't have many dealings with them, so it was completely fine. That was just the way they were operating the business. They were just switching people out. Okay, no problem. Follow on another, say, 6 months to 12 months, a lot of things started to change. We were started to give more jobs to do within our role. So I know this may feel petty, but we were given a lot of jobs that we weren't actually paid to do, but we had to still do it and fit it all into the same time we had to do our original job, which was already kind of tight. And we were always told, oh, look, it will only take 5 minutes. And that was the case, it did always take like 5-10 minutes, but there was a lot of 5-10 minutes that was added onto the day. And a lot of people there did start to feel as if we were getting taken advantage of a little bit. But we just kept our mouth shut, done the job, because at the end of the day, that's what we're paid to do. Then they started to introduce things like goals. So they were goal setting, and it wasn't initially goal sets based on like monetary values or anything like that. It was just based on keeping customers happy and things like that, but implementing goals anyway, and that was fine. We started to achieve these goals, but then what they started to do was, if you didn't achieve the goals, they started to put people on performance plans. Now, I was lucky enough, coming from a sales background, that I was pretty good at it, to be fair, so I didn't get put on any performance plans, but there was people that did. Now, what they ended up doing about 2 years ago is, after people were on performance plans, we all got an email put into our diary just out of the blue. It's in our diary, in our calendar, that we all had to join. So everybody was kind of like, what's going on here? So we went on the call and they told us that they're going to be doing a round of redundancies. And I was like, okay, right, so whose kind of jobs at risk? And it was nerve-wracking, because you're spending the next 4 weeks while they're making a decision on who's getting the sack, worried whether you're still going to have a job. And for me, like, not knowing if I'm going to be able to pay the bills, not going to be able to pay the rent, pay the mortgage or whatever, it's a struggle. You know, you worry about it every single day, and I felt sick most days. But you still have to do your job. Then the redundancies came, and lo and behold, they get rid of all the people that were on performance plans. And then how they swung it to us was, look, we chose to keep yous, but we need you to really start upping your game. So they wanted more from us. Bearing in mind it was still the same pay, everything like that, they wanted more from us. And what that more looked like was doing more roles from different departments within the bank. So we had to start doing certain things, like we're pricing ourselves. So there was loads of different things within it that we had to start doing that was previously other departments' roles. So that was last year's redundancies. Then for this full year leading up to today, or leading up to when I posted the short, we were basically, everybody was just working as hard as they could. We were doing as much as we could every single day, just trying and trying and trying, essentially just to keep people happy. And then what we started to see was there was people getting the sack from all the other departments, and all the other departments started to reduce. And I spoke to my wife about it, and I thought, I've got a funny feeling that they might try and get rid of more people. So that was for quite a few months. I thought I need to try and maybe look for something else, because every day I was waking up, I was super down. I really just didn't want to do the job. I was working from 8 o'clock, sometimes wasn't getting off the computer until like 7, 8 o'clock at night. It was really starting to affect my personal life. There was loads of stuff I wanted to get done around the house. I wanted to start just doing things just normal rather than work. And it got to the stage that we were waiting till a Friday, and the Friday couldn't come soon enough. And when it did come soon enough, you were that exhausted that you just ended up sitting in the house the full weekend, just demoralised. So a few months back, I kind of had enough, and I drew up my resignation letter. And the way it works where you resign from this company is you hand in your resignation, they accept it, then you work for 3 months, because that's your notice period. You work for the 3 months, and then that's you free to go. The struggle I had was trying to find another job within that 3 months would have been difficult, because I'd have had to have got a job while working, and already working as hard as possible. And then I would have had to have said to them, look, I can't start for 3 months' time, which most employers are like, well, we kind of need someone now. If they're looking, they'll need someone within a month or 2 maybe, but 3 months was quite a far way out. So I went to phone my manager to tell him that I was going to be resigning. I was going to send him it, and he didn't answer. And then he phoned me back about an hour later, and by the time he phoned me back, I'd already started thinking, what am I going to do about the bills, etc. So I ended up just making up an excuse as to why I had phoned him and didn't tell him about the resignation. And then last month again, I was so ready to hand it in. And I spoke to the wife about it. I was like, let's just do it. I'll find something else. I'll do something else, and I'll go into another job, anything. I just couldn't do it anymore. And she said, right, just hold off a week or two, start applying to other places, and just kind of get the feel of things, start getting your CV ready. So I did it. And then within about 2 days of drafting that again, we all got an email put into our calendar. Everybody had to be on it. Now, there was a few people on performance plans already, so we kind of knew what it was going to be. But they told everybody they were doing the redundancy round again, and they asked if anybody wanted to take it voluntary. So I put my hand up to take voluntary redundancy, and I was told off my manager, look, we can still decline it. And that was a bit of a signal for me. I was like, I've just prayed to God they didn't. So I told everybody in my team that I had asked for voluntary redundancy, because they told us we had to lose 3 people. And because I put my hand up, it meant that if they didn't get rid of me and they get rid of other people, they would have been doing it on the basis of, oh, it's just because you're not performing well, or because you're on a performance plan. And that's not the way they pitched it to us. They pitched it that we just need to get rid of some people because the leads are down. So my thought was, if I just tell them this and I tell everybody else, then they'll choose me. So then, lo and behold, it got approved. And what that kind of means for me now, and why I was laughing, was because I was going to just hand it in and they would have got rid of me for completely free, and I would have had to work the 3 months notice. But because they accepted my redundancy, or my voluntary redundancy, and it got approved, they're going to pay me 3 weeks wages for every year I've worked there, so that's 4 years, and they're going to pay me 3 months of work while I'm on gardening leave. So it does mean I can't work elsewhere. So basically, I've got 3 months of pay from them, and obviously a lump sum for the redundancy package. And I always wanted to do YouTube. Now, because of I can't essentially work anywhere else, I thought this would be a good chance for me to trial this. Now, when I put the short out, I was just thinking, do you know what, it's a laugh. I've got 3 months, let's just put it out. I could not believe the amount of people that actually commented on it. So I guess my question to you is do you think for the next 3 months I should try YouTube, see what the hell I can do on here? It would be a good laugh. I'll just do random stuff all the time, because I'm so happy to be free and just get to do what I want. But yeah, just looking for some advice. Do you think I should do YouTube, or do you think I should just start looking for another job to make sure I can pay the bills, or do you think I should just wait until 3 months time then start looking for work? So yeah, what do you think? Sorry it was a big long way round winded story to tell you, but yeah, that was the full reason on why I left, and why I won't work for anyone else now, because you're just treated like a total number. And that's why I was laughing so much, because they could have got rid of me for free and made me work for the 3 months, had they just kept their mouth shut and stopped doing these redundancies to people. But instead I got a lump sum, get 3 months pay, and yeah, hopefully can start doing YouTube. What do you think?